Hi, welcome. Welcome to the Mahjong class live stream. Looking forward to spending some time with you this evening. If you want to be a maven, you've come to the right place. I'm going to help you improve your game and help you improve your skills. Whether you're a beginner learner or looking for advanced strategies or just brushing up, I'll be sharing tips and strategies to help you in your Mahjong game. Happy New Year, everyone, to my Mahjong friends. Welcome to the new year, and we're going to get started. The new year brings a new National Mahjong League rule. You don't want to miss this clinic because we're going to talk about the rule as much as we're going to talk about some new stats on the 2022 card and trying new categories. Follow along using the 2022 National Mahjong League card. You can purchase that through my website. I'll put the link in the chat. If you're here with us, please go ahead and pop in and let us know where you're from. Today for our clinic, I'm going to use ilovemahj for our platform. If you sign up with them and use my code CB, you'll get an extra week trial with them. Normally they give you 2 weeks, so I'm popping that in the chat. Try joining ilovemahj and seeing how you like to play there. I'm finding it really great and I enjoy it. Tonight we're going to run things a little different. I usually start with an exercise warm-up. The warm-ups are part of the exercise room here in ilovemahj, and I can show you the different exercises here. In the exercise room, in each of my last clinics, we went over each of the exercises. So go to the other clinics, past clinics, and you'll be able to look at that. I'm going to skip our warm-up exercises because I have a few things that I want to go over with you. So if everyone who purchased a Mahjong League card this year in January, you receive the bulletin that comes out, which is here. And we're going to talk about that because in the bulletin, which came to me the end of December, you might not have it received yet. It could come the end of January. If you, again, received your card, if you purchased your card in April from the National Mahjong League, you should be receiving a bulletin. There is a new rule that I wanted to go over. So the new rule that's been put out by the National Mahjong League states that a tile that is called for either an exposure or for Mahjong must be placed on top of the rack. Now, if you're someone who I've taught in the past, I've always taught you that way, so there's no changes for you. This was also always the way tournaments were handled. So the league's getting on board, and there I'm going to start enforcing the fact that they would like you to place the tile on top of the rack instead of putting the tile you called in the rack and pulling up tiles. No rule that was stated in the rule book, which is Mahjong Made Easy, which can be found at the National Mahjong League. And so some people have reached out. I've saw through some social media pages, and they're wondering what the penalty is if you put a tile in the rack. And they reached out to the league, and the league has not come up yet with any specific ruling. So we're waiting to hear back from them, but I'm sure they will clarify it and share their ruling what the penalty is. If you have any questions on that, please drop them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them. But also what I mentioned in my last clinic, I guess 2 weeks ago, prior to the holidays, I had mentioned that we were going to talk about statistics. And specifically with ilovemahj. So we're going to go back to that, and we're going to talk about ilovemahj. So on their page, so when you log in, you're probably going to be looking at this page, and we're going to talk about where we can find statistics. I think there was an article that came out this week, which I'll share with you. When you have some downtime, go and read this article. It's full of such great information, and I think it's super helpful. So if you want to copy that, I'll put everything in the link below, but just in case somebody wanted to read the article, you're more than welcome to do so. But anyway, I'm going to go over the article. It's quite interesting. I'm going to point out some things that I found interesting. So it was timely yesterday. ilovemahj came out with this article that, again, I think this platform is super exciting to play. It has fabulous features, and one of them is statistics. And you can go to your statistics in two spots. You can go to where you log in, and you can go to My Statistics. Or you can find your statistics when you go to Play, Game Launch, and then here is My Statistics. So let's look at My Statistics, and we're going to review them. So originally, we had 130 games on ilovemahj, and here are my statistics. I had 29 wins, 89 losses, and 12 wall games. So according to the article, they mentioned that if you're playing against equal skill players, I happen to play against bots, and I play advanced level, those bots, you would expect to win 25% of the time. So currently I'm winning at 22% of the time. This number at 25%, you have to take into the fact that you have wall games. So the number gets readjusted to 22%. So I'm right there. So statistically, I'm right where I should be. I want to see, obviously, to get better, more than 22% of my games, but I'm right where the article says where most players are. And I thought that was very interesting. You know, you always think you always want to win more games than not. Then the next thing they talk about is your thinking time. The average thinking time for myself is almost 14 seconds. According to their stats, the average time for most people is almost 17 seconds. Then they talk about your thinking time, that was during the Charleston. Then they talk about your thinking time during the game. I make my decisions pretty quick. I have 2.4 seconds decision making, and their average is 3.5. So, you know, you have to keep in mind I am a teacher, so I do play pretty fast, but right up there with other people, they're playing 3.5. So how you could use this is just to make sure that you're playing up to speed with everyone else. So you want to keep playing to try to increase your thinking time, and this is a good way to see it. The next thing they talk about, I wanted to talk about is about they actually keep track of all your wins and what line you play. So if you play the same category all the time, you're going to see that, all the wins you have, and how many times you play certain hands. So we're going to scroll down, and here's the online games, and they kept track of all of the times I won. So if you look on my online games, you can see there's a huge discrepancy. I don't play 2, 4, 6, 8 very much, and then also singles and pairs. The really awesome thing about their statistic is you can fill in your in-person games. And then I have a different view. Again, not playing too much 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't have Wins and Dragons in my in-person games. But then they have where it's combined, and you can see an overall view of all the times that you've won. It's very easy, by the way, to pop in your in-person games. You just have to add a win, and you put it in, and you just pick the category. So we'll put in 2, 4, 6, 8, and you'll pick line 8 for a win. And then you can add how many times you win, and then you click Save. So if you keep track at home on your card, one of the things people talk about is the dot challenge. That's what I usually do. I usually dot the card for the times that I win it. You can check out a video that I have online in my videos about the dot challenge, and I'll share the link for that. And again, everything's going to be below in the description when we get finished, but this will be for the dot challenge. There's a video all about that. Last clinic, we talked about singles and pairs. I was encouraging you to play singles and pairs. Interesting enough, I don't think that I put in my statistics yet for my last couple of games, but I do focus on singles and pairs, and I was trying to win them in our last clinic, where I was working on my singles and pairs and teaching you how to transition from that if you were to get jokers. So don't forget to check out my past clinics. And one of the other things that they had in there in the article was they talked about the most popular hands that humans played, that they entered themselves, and they gave the 15 most popular. What I found, which maybe is not so interesting to you, but I think it is, you might already know this, most people play consecutive run. And that was most of the hands that were won. And the other category that was most played was any like numbers. When they combine that with what the computer plays when you play the bots and how you win on there, it was still consecutive run in most areas, any like numbers, but they had some wins and dragons in there as well. So it seems to me people focus on consecutive run, any like numbers, and wins and dragons. So kind of in that diagonal pattern. And probably the next one I would say is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So very interesting article. If you have some time, sit down and read it, and it might bring some new perspective to your game. And what I found when I went in and looked at my statistics again, I said, wow, I'm not really playing 2, 4, 6, 8 or 3, 6, 9. And if I'm playing in a game, I really want to try to not play the same hands as everybody else. So tonight we're going to focus and play some games, and we're going to talk about trying to get into 2, 4, 6, 8, and 3, 6, 9. You see here I've won on 3, 6, 9 in person many times. And then one of the other categories I think is underplayed this year, and people were so worried about it, is 2022. I don't think people play that very often. So tonight we're going to focus on 2022, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 3, 6, 9. And forget about this diagonal for any like numbers, consecutive run, and wins and dragons. It's a new year, and I would love for you to challenge yourself and get that brain really learning new patterns and sequences. So let's cross off those any like numbers, consecutive run, and wins and dragons. I'm going to do 2022, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 3, 6, 9. And of course, the bottom line is if you get the tiles towards those other categories, you're obviously going to try to win because your ultimate goal is to win. But we're going to work on trying to win in other ways. So let's move out of this. And two other things I wanted to mention is this platform, ilovemahj. I had mentioned I really love it. I wanted to show you, if you had questions, you can go to this knowledge base and type in anything you wanted to find out more about. It's a fabulous base of knowledge that you can type in your information. So maybe you wanted to talk about joker exchanges. So you can type in joker, and actually they have joker swap. So let's do that, joker swap. So you can hit during the game and see how do you do a joker swap. And they give you a little video on how to do that. So it's a very great support system here. So try that out also. Let's go back, and we want to play a game. So again, typically when you log in, you'll be on this screen. We're going to hit play, game launch, and we're going right into the game tonight, and we're going to play with bots. Official game. I'm going to stay at my intermediate level, and we're going to launch game. Tonight we're not going to be open to live games since I'm instructing rather than playing with friends. And the only thing I'm changing, normally I play with a 4-second timer because I want to play relatively fast. You should probably start out with 10, go to 8, 6, 4, challenge yourself. I'm going to shut it off because I'm probably going to be speaking and I don't want my tiles to get pulled away from me. And we're going to hit OK, and we're going to start game. So remember, the categories we're looking to play in is 2022, 2468, and 369. So let's sort by suit, and we look for our pairs, which tonight we have none. So we're going to either play, we can play 3, let's see how many tiles we have. We can play 3, 6, 6, 6, 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can play 2, 4, 6. So I think we already have a little more 2, 4, 6 because we have 2, 4, 6, and 6. Then we have another 4. That's more than 3, 6, 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we only have 1, 2 to play 2022. So let's do 2, 4, 6. We don't have any 8s, but let's try with that. We also could keep 3, 6, 9 because we have enough tiles to pass that we wouldn't be using. So we have at the end here 5, 7, 5. Let's get rid of the 5 bam, the 7 dot, and we're not going to play win. So let's get rid of our win. So this is our first right. We picked up a 2. We don't need an east. We don't need a 7. And in the 2, 4, 6, 8 category, every line 2 and 4 must be in the same suit. We already have a 2, 4, 6. We have 4, 6. So we just need one more to pass. Oh, here we go. We have, I don't want to do a 5 and a 7 because they're in the same suit. So let's do a 3. So I've pretty much given up on a 3, 6, 9. We're still focusing on 2, 4, 6, 8. We pulled another 2 and an 8. And again, I haven't even looked at the card yet. I'm just keeping all the 2, 4, 6s, and 8s. We can get rid of these last 3 tiles. Now, when it comes to a dragon, it's usually my last tile that I usually get rid of. So in 2, 4, 6, 8, there's 2 hands that use dragons. There's the hand that's all one suit. So, for example, you would use BAMs with a green dragon. We're not going to play that. We don't have enough. And then there's the hand on the same line, which is line number 5. It's 2, 4, and 4, 6 with an opposite dragon. So that might work. But we have to pass 3. Although, this is our first left. You don't need to pass 3. This is where you could do a blind pass. But tonight, I kind of want to make my hand stronger. So, let's see. If I want to, I am going to get rid of the green. I don't think I'm going to play that right now. We picked up another 6 and another 6. Now, if you remember from 2 weeks ago, we talked about singles and pairs. Just pop over there real quick just to help yourself remember. The 5th line down, you need 2 flowers, pair of 2s, a single 4, single 6, and 8s. And then you need to change suits and do a pair of 2s, a single 4, single 6, and 8s. We somewhat have that making, but not quite. Now, we already completed the first Charleston. We could stop it here. I don't like to stop it unless I'm 100% knowing what hand to play. And right now, I'm just starting to look at the card. I'm not really sure which one I want to play. There is also the concealed hand, which are underutilized. There's the concealed hand with 2 flowers, 2 suits, and you need a single 2, a single 4, a single 6, and 3 8s, a pung. So I'm not sure. But if we continue here, we're really going to start having to make decisions. So let's, I do think we really do need to continue. So let's hit continue. Easy enough, we know we don't need the 5. Now we have to decide on how we're going to play this. So again, your 2 and 4 must always match. We're missing a gap of a 4 here, but I would hate to get rid of these 2s. So the first line in 2024 is all 1 suit. The second line is 1 suit. You have 2, a 4 and a 6 and an 8. And then you can have, for example, you can have 6 in Kongs and 6 in Kongs. That seems like a really nice hand. We are missing the 4, but we just need a single 4. That would also mean getting rid of one of the 6s. We can pick that hand and play that hand. The other option is the next line, line number 3. You're going to have 2 and 4 in one suit and 6 and 8 in another, which we don't have. We only have 6 and 8 in this suit. We don't have enough 2 and 4. I'm going to stick with line number 2 and see how this develops. This kind of looks pretty nice. If you have any other suggestions, pop it in the chat. I would love some interaction from everybody, and we can talk about it. But I'm going to get rid of the 4 and the 2, and let's see how this works out. This is the second left. Great, we picked up another 4, but I'm going to stick with my hand of 2, 4, 6, 8 with 6s and get rid of the north, the 1, and break up these 4s. Oh, we got the 4. Very good. So now we have our singles that we were looking for. I'm going to get rid of the 4, the 5, and the green. This is our final right. Now we have 3 to pass. We can hit 3 tiles. We got back our 4 that we originally passed, a 3, and a south that we don't need. Now again, looking at the second hand in 2, 4, 6, 8, we came to that decision pretty quickly because of all the tiles we were collecting. We have our 2 2s, our single 4. We only need a single 6, so that's another discard. We have a single 8, but we can make a pung with our joker. We can get it in the right spot. And then we have our 6s that we need Kongs of. So we need some more jokers or some more 6s to complete that. So this joker can be either with the 8s or the 6s. We're just starting the game. We have 99 tiles to go. So let's get going. Prioritize your discards according to how you think you would least use them. So I have the 3. I know I'm not going to use that. And I have my wind. So let's start with the 3 bam. In this game, you do have to hit ignore for every tile, which is a great thing because it makes you think about every tile. The computer doesn't do it for you. If you have any questions on any of the decisions I'm making, please tap it in the chat. Once somebody puts up an exposure, you should be trying to figure out their hand. Now we picked up another south. And I don't think during the Charleston, and you can help me out here, but I don't think anybody ever passed. I think we got 1 south back that we originally sent. So maybe it's possible somebody is playing wins. So let's get rid of the 4 bam, and maybe we can discard one of these later on and somebody will expose it. And we can maybe do a joker swap. Oh, we got another 6 now. We're getting a couple 6s. I'm still convinced we're playing this. Somebody might want to say we could switch over to like numbers. I'm tempted to do that, but the problem with that is we have no dragons with that or flowers. So let's keep moving along and get rid of our 6s. Okay, so now in East and North has been discarded, and nobody has claimed it. Now, this 8 has been discarded. If I call to make my pung right now, I am putting out a joker for someone else to use. I don't like doing that, and then I'm also telling everybody about my hand. I will wait and possibly pick the 8 crack myself, so let's ignore this for now. There's 4 8 cracks, and this is the first one. We still have 2 more that are out there. We do need that 6 spam, but we don't have enough to get it. I could use the joker. I will probably have to use the joker on our next call. So we're hoping that somebody will put up some jokers and we can try to do some jokers exchanges. We do need more jokers. That was another statistic in the article. They talked about jokers, how many jokers people actually receive. Most people will receive, I think it was 1.8 or something to that effect, so 2 jokers every game that you're hoping you'll receive. So, you know, hopefully we'll get another joker. It was really a great, interesting article, so please try to read that when you get a chance. Okay, now there's a joker over here. We got to look out for the 2 dot. That maybe we can get that joker. Oh, they got it already. So again, we're looking for maybe the 6 spam right now, and then some jokers. So we kind of picked this hand very early on because we had to make some decisions because we had, oh yay, we got a 6 stop. We had to make some decisions early on because we had all our tiles were 2, 4, 6, 8. So based on the study, choosing that category might be a very good idea because it looks like people aren't playing 2, 4, 6, 8. But let's see what happens during the game. So we got our other 6 dot. Yay for us. Look good. Nobody called the south. Let's get rid of the other south. Oh yay, we got our other joker. So now we're ready to call for our 8 cracks, and we're ready to call for our 6 spams. Oh, I'm thinking we need a pung of 8 cracks. We need a pair of 8 cracks. So we are 1 tile away from Mahjong with an 8 crack. So this hand worked out really well for us. If we can get that tile, we're going to be golden. So you should be figuring out people's hands when they have exposures up, specifically when they have 2 exposures up. So this Agatha has 2, 3. She's probably playing a consecutive run, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what Joe's playing. A pung of 8s can be just about anywhere. So we're going to have to wait and see if Joe puts up another grouping. And Wes over here, obviously, he's keeping it a big secret. And so are we. I did pick up a 6 spam. I do not need it. I could discard a joker, but then that would be telling everybody I'm 1 tile away. I'm going to discard the 6 spam to they don't know what I'm playing. Where is that? I bet you Joe's playing like numbers, which again is statistically people play that. I bet he might have our oh no, he wasn't playing. Joe was playing 7, 8, 7, 8. with opposite dragons, which is consecutive run, line number 4. What's great about this game again is they post what line they're playing and what category. And if you look at all the bots, they're all playing consecutive run. So for us to play 2, 4, 6, 8 was a really good idea. Wes was playing consecutive run, line number 5, which is 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Agatha was playing 2, 3, 4, 5 is what I had thought she was playing. So we didn't win this one. Joe got his tiles before us, but the 8 crack, it was still out there somewhere. Nobody had it. You can see show remaining tiles, and here are the 8s. They were all still in here. So it's possible we could have won. As always, everybody, there's no runner-up, but Joe got it before us. So let's start a new game. And again, we're focusing on 2022, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 3, 6, 9. We're not doing the diagonal, which is any like numbers, consecutive run, or wins. So let's see what our groupings are here. Now we have the consecutive numbers 3, 4. So we could play a consecutive run, but tonight I'm not going to play that, so I'm going to break up one of them. We have, we could play 3, 6, 9, so let's try that. So let's hold on to all of our 3, 6, 9s, no matter what the suit is, and let's force 3, 6, 9. And we do have another 9 here. So let's break up the 4s. We're going to get rid of one of them. We're going to get rid of a 1. And let's get rid of the 2. So this is 3 different suits. Keep in mind you're passing. I have 3 different suits. Bams, cracks, dots. I have an odd and an even. And I do have another even. But again, in 2, 4, 6, 8, 2 and 4 are always in the same suit. So this is opposite suits. This is our first right. We're working towards 3, 6, 9. I'm keeping any 3, 6, 9 that comes my way, and then I'm passing anything else that's not in that category. So let's give up an 8, a 5, and a 4. Pulling another 9. Let's give a 1, a west, and a 4. This is our first left. Holding on to the 6. Again, I'm not even looking at the card yet. I'm just collecting every 3, 6, 9. Wins aren't in the 3, 6, 9 category, so that's why I'm getting rid of them. I'm going to continue with the Charleston and get rid of these 3. I picked up 2 7s and a north, so we're going to pass those 2 7s and a north. The last 3 I don't need. I could keep this red dragon, so let's take a look if we'd like to keep it. There's 2 hands on the card that have dragons in it. And now this is the first time I'm looking at the card. Again, I was keeping every 3, 6, 9. That's why you can keep your speed during the Charleston. Just, again, you don't need to say, oh, what hand am I playing? Just keep every tile that belongs in the category. And when you have to make a decision, now I didn't have to make a decision until my last right. So I'm looking at the 2 categories with dragons in it. The first one is 3 and 6 in one suit, which would be here because we want to work with our strength. This is the pair. And then 6 and 9 in another. And then you need opposite dragon. Well, I'm using the cracks and the bands. The opposite dragon would be the soap. So in this case, I wouldn't need it. The other line is right below that, line number 4. It's 3, 6, 9 with matching dragon. But the problem with that hand is I don't have any flowers. So I'm going to let this red dragon go and do a full pass to see if I get any additional tiles to help me make a decision on what hand I'm playing. So I'm probably not playing a dragon hand. Now I picked up a 4, a west, and a green. As I mentioned before, the dragon that we're looking for between the 3-6 cracks and the 6-9 bams would be white. So we don't need these 3, so let's pass 3 in our courtesy. So now we're into the game. I am still not looking at the card to see what I'm playing. I'm going to ignore this because I want my hand to develop a little further to decide where I'm going to play. I'm looking at my multiples. Picked up a 6, and I have 3 tiles before I have to make a decision. I could keep the red with the thought in mind of 3-6-9 with matching dragon, but the problem is, again, we don't have the flowers. But let's prioritize our discards, and let's get rid of the 1 first. Now I picked a flower, so let's keep it, and let's get rid of the north. Seven dot we don't need. Now we're in a great position. There's a joker over here. I don't know what hand I'm playing, and maybe I'll need a flower, but I'd rather have that joker than the flower, so I'm going to exchange by clicking on the joker. I pulled a 3. Now I'm going to get rid of the red. Still not looking at the card, just collecting every 3, 6, 9. I won't look at the card. You know, I could start looking at it while my opponents are playing and try to figure out maybe what hand I would play. So we could start looking. Okay, we pulled another 3. So I want to use the most of my multiples. So let's start with the top line. We could play either 3-6 or 3-6-6-9. So at that point, we wouldn't use these 9s. Then the next line is all 1 suit, which we're not playing, and we don't have flowers, so we're not playing. We could use our jokers for flowers. We could play, but we don't have any pairs of 6s. The third line is, again, the dragons we kind of crossed out. The fourth line we crossed out. The fifth line, we need matching 9s, which we don't have. The sixth line is pair flowers 3-6-9 with either 3s, 6s, or 9s at the back end. That's a possibility. Or we can play the bottom hand, which is a single 3, a 6, and a 3 9s, a single 3, a 6, and a 9. So, anybody have any thoughts of what line they would like to play? Don't forget to look in singles and pairs. There's also a great hand in singles and pairs, which would be 3-6-9. It would be 3 and 6, or 3-6-9 and 3-6-9. We can try the singles and pairs hand. Let's try that. I kind of like that hand, so I'm going to give up on a joker. I know it sounds crazy, but let's do it. So I'm not calling for anything. I'm going to try to do the 3-6-9 closed hand in singles and pairs. Oh, and we are nicely playing that hand. So it looks like it's going to be 3, 3-6 and cracks. So maybe don't need this 9. And then 3-6 and 9 dot. You don't need this 4. And you should be trying to figure out this hand over here too. We have 3 flowers and 1. Does anybody know where they're playing? They can be playing like numbers. That comes to me right away. They can be playing consecutive run, line number 2. Picked up another 6, so let's see how this is going to play out. And again, we can always move up to the top hand in 3-6-9. Yes, let's move to the top hand in 3-6-9 because that would mean we have 3 3s 3 sixes, 6s, and 9s, and we can start getting rid of this other. Unfortunately, I know it's bad we got rid of those jokers, but I'm always one to challenge myself, and I would love to have tried getting the singles and pairs to see if we got closer to it. Maybe we'll be lucky again and we'll get some jokers and try to now make the top hand. Now that, oh look, we got a joker. The top hand is, I call a fallback hand. Each of the groupings is a pung, pung, kong, kong hand. Each of the groupings, you do not need to have a singles and pairs. Each of the groupings you can use jokers in. So it's a great category line to fall back on because you can use jokers. Now over here, Wes is playing 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, I'd be interested to see what's going on over here. We do need that 9. I don't remember if a 9 went out. Let's call it. We're going to call it for the Kong. I'm going to get rid of this 6. Too bad we didn't get this. So he is playing 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, there is a hand with 3s at the end, but we don't have the flowers. I'm looking at hand number 6, which I was thinking about, but we're missing a pair of flowers, so that's not going to work. So let's get rid of these 9s, unfortunately. So we need another joker for the BAMs. And Agatha won. She was playing the second line in consecutive run. 3 flowers, the number 1, 3 flowers, and then the number 2 in a different suit. So again, if you look at where everybody was playing, consecutive run, and Joe did try this time a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. We were in 3, 6, 9. So let's start another game and give it a go. Again, we're focusing on 2020, 2, 4, 6, 8, or Winds and Dragons. So lucky us, we have a soap. So we could do 2020, but we only have 1, 2, and I have a bunch of 8s. So let's try 2, 4, 6, 8 or 2020, and let's get rid of the other tiles. So let's do an odd. We're keeping the evens. Let's do a low odd and maybe a high odd. We're keeping all the evens. Not a great pass because you have 7 and 9 in the same suit here, but otherwise we could get rid of a 7 dot, but then we're getting rid of 7s, but it's the best we can do. I'm going to 7, a 1, and we already have the 2 and 4 matching, so let's get rid of this 2. We can continue and get rid of the last 3 tiles. The last 3 are good to get rid of. I'm holding on to the dragons because in 2, 4, 6, 8 there are dragon hands. I could make different decisions, but again, we're forcing tonight not playing that diagonal, any like numbers, consecutive run, or wins. We're trying to play 2020, 2, 4, 6, 8, or 3, 6, 9, based off of some statistics that was in the article by ilovemahj. Let's pass 3 tiles. And again, I really haven't looked at the card yet to see what hand I'm playing. I'm just trying to collect all the 2, 4, 6, 8s, and then we'll make our decision on what hand we're going to play. Now, this is a great opportunity for us. Our friend Joe over here has some white dragons up. We have a white dragon. Let's do a swap. I do have 2 7s. I could hold on to them and possibly discard one later on when we're halfway through the game and get a joker swap with the other one if somebody calls for it. So let's get rid of our wins. Now, if I was playing in a live game, I would want to play 7-8 of sorts, maybe 7-8, 7-8 or something, but we're going to still stick with 2-4-6-8. Joe's playing 7s with white dragon, so he's probably playing a consecutive run, which is the second line from the bottom in consecutive run. Now, one of the things to learn the card is you can go to the exercise room and you can practice building the hands, which will help you remember the hands. I'm pretty familiar with the card. I do teach this many times during the week, and so it's repetitiveness. As you know, anything you learn, the more you do it, like a recipe, you know it like the back of your hand. So hopefully we're looking for a 7 dot also to do a joker exchange. We could keep this, we could hold on to it and see what happens, but I don't think it's necessary. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary. Let's get rid of it. Let's just double check. There is one hand on the card I was thinking of. It's line number 6 and 2-4-6-8. It's 3 flowers, the number 2, 3 flowers, and the number 8, but they have to be in 2 different suits. So let's get rid of the 2. I'm wondering what Wes is playing over here with the 5s. I don't know what hand we're playing. If we do happen to choose the 5th line down, we do need 4 green dragons for all 1 suit, but we have all these 8 dots. I don't think that we're playing that yet. We could play that same line with 3 different suits, but let's keep going and ignore this. Don't need a north. Don't need the 9. And just to see what Wes is playing over here, maybe 5s like numbers. Wow, that was quick. Joe got it. And it was exactly the hand that I mentioned, consecutive run. Again, a very popular hand this year. So one school of thought is if everybody's playing those popular hands, to stay away and try to win based on what I'm trying to do tonight in the other categories that no one's playing, which is 2022, 2-4-6-8, and 3-6-9. The other school of thought is maybe those hands are just easier to win and to play them because you always win on them. So that's the thought. So I don't know if it's human made, meaning we constantly look at consecutive runs, so that's why they seem easier to make, or if it truly is easier to make. We didn't get very far on this particular game, but that's the way things go sometimes when you play. So let's start one more game. And we're going to sort it. And our strengths are 4 and 6, so I think we're in 2-4-6-8 again. So let's get rid of the 3, the 1, and the West. I hope you see how quick decisions are. I just said when playing 2-4-6-8, these aren't in that category. Let's get rid of them. We can get rid of a 5. Now we have the matching 4 and green dragon. So let's look at the hand with dragons. So again, there's 2 hands with dragons. It's on line number 5. and the first one's all one suit. We have dots, so we need white dragon, so we're not playing that. The second part of that hand is opposite dragon. So it would be 2 and 4 in one suit and 6 and 8 in another, which we have 6 and 8 here in dots, and then the other suit would be red or green. We have to make a decision at this point. I don't see us using the dragons. We possibly could use the 6s somewhere. So let's get rid of the dragons, at least this dragon for sure. Now we're on our across. We have to give Joe 3, and we could give up on one of the 6s, but let's get rid of the green. It was passed, so maybe it'll be passed again. This isn't great to pass 2 dragons, but there's nothing else I really want to get rid of, so let's go. We picked up a 2 and a 2, and we can get rid of the green and the 3. Now we need to have another tile, and I think I would choose one of the 6s. Whether you give a 6 crack or a 6 bam doesn't matter, but I'm going to look that we're giving a 3 crack, so let's give a 6 bam, just so they're not matching. Oh, now we have all the 2, we have all 2, 4, 6, 8, so maybe we're playing the 5th hand down with the matching dragons. Let's continue the Charleston, and I'm going to get rid of the 3, and I'm just going to collect dots at this point, and hopefully pick up more dot tiles. Here we go, we're getting all the dots now. We have 3 tiles to pass over. I'm getting a little nervous though. Now we're on our final right. We can pass these 3 tiles. So this time it worked out pretty well for us. And we have 3 tiles to pass in the courtesy. So this is going to be, again, we made a decision early on to just collect all dots. And so it was pretty easy in this hand. So sometimes it's a little bit of a harder decision to make, and sometimes it's easier. Again, I'm prioritizing my discards. I'm getting rid of any tile that isn't in the 2, 4, 6, 8 category. So there's only 2 hands that are all one suit, and that's the first one with 3 flowers. We don't have the 3 flowers. We can use some jokers. And then it's also the 5th one down. It's all the same suit with the matching dragons, which we don't have either. We have a long way to go. We have 94 tiles left. So let's see how this plays out. There's 1 soap. Now, choosing flowers over soaps is better because your statistics, you are able to possibly collect the flowers because there's 8 of them versus the soap. There's only 4. There's our second soap. So now we're getting pushed in to the 2, 4, 6, 8 hand, the first line. We need 4 8 dots. We aren't able to call it yet. Oh, now we got the joker. We also need these jokers for our flowers. Now you might also think we have these pair of 2s. It's possible we could play the second line, but then that would mean giving up on all these 4s and 6s. You want to use the most of your multiples, so we're going to stick with the top line at this point, unless we pull some white dragons, and then we can change. Oh, look at the 2 jokers. Oh, one just got swapped, but there was 2 jokers over here. We need to maybe be able to swap one out. Wes is playing a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. Oh boy. So he's got 2, 4, 6, 8. He needs 4 8s. 1 was out, so he must not have enough jokers. We can do a joker swap. So we need some flowers. We only need 4 2s, so this is another tile we can get rid of. Oh, look at this. Wait a second. Maybe we'll call this. And then, oh no, we need 3/8 then. Okay, let's ignore it. I just want to get one more tile to help us to pick what hand. I am nervous about putting this out because it's possible Wes picked up some jokers, but it's going to have to be our next tile. Oh, he's not ready for it. Now we picked a flower, so let's set ourselves up so that we're able to call. We need 3 flowers, so the next flower we will call. We need a pair of 2s, a pair of 4s, 3 6s, and 4 8s. Now if we went the other way, we would need 2s, 3 4s, a pair of 6s, and 3 8s with the white dragons. We could do the joker exchange when it comes our turn. Let's see what happens, how this game plays out here. I'm tempted to do the joker exchange. Let's do that. Take it away from one of our opponents. So then that would mean we'd go down with the white dragon and call for our 8s. Wow. So we're using these either for white dragon. So let's do 2, 3 4s. I'm looking at my number 5. 2 6s, 3 8s. So we're looking for an 8 dot or a white dragon. I'm not choosing to play with flowers because I think Agatha is playing with flowers. And there's our winning tile. And this is our winning hand, line number 5, Mahjong. And good for us. I mean, what a way to end tonight. We had 6 jokers. That's just a little crazy, but it happens. And we were able to make this lovely hand. And now you can look. Oh, it actually made it. That was interesting. I didn't even see this. I was playing 2 4 6 8. The 5th line, they actually made it into the quint hand, which was very interesting because that's not what I was playing, but it does work to the quint hand, the second one down. I'm actually going to mention this to them. That was an interesting concept to learn, so I just took a little screenshot of that. So a quint hand for us. Wow, not even a category we were aiming for, but it would have won on the quint hand or that 2 4 6 8 hand. Obviously, you want to win on the quint hand because if you're playing for points or money, you're going to get 50 points for that, or 50 cents. So, with that said, we're going to finish up a new rule that you have to place the exposed tile on top of your rack, and it must be placed on top and then pull up the additional tiles. That's the way you should be playing. You can, again, join ilovemahj, which we were just playing on this evening. It's a great site to play on, and you can have a 3-week trial. They usually give you 2 weeks. I'm getting an extra week being associated with them, and use the code CB, and you can join that way. Keep practicing. You'll get better, and you'll get faster on your games. I just want to thank those who support me. You can support me for free just by clicking subscribe and clicking the bell. We'll each week let you know when we go live or during the week when I post new videos. If you liked tonight, give me a thumbs up, and I would love if you share it with your friends so they can join us. And also leave any comments on what you thought about this video. And then thank you for my super supporters. Thanks for donating. And each week I play every Tuesday at 1. I play online live. You can play against me or play with other players live, and give it a try. Join my group. I have a video on how to do that, which I'm going to link below in the description, so come back and check it out, and join us at 1 o'clock to Let's Play Live. Our next session is the 10th, I think, is next week on a Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Every Tuesday at 6:30, I play the live clinic, which you joined me tonight. So next week, it'll be on the 10th, I think. I'm hoping I have my date right. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but we'll play there also. Excuse me. I also wanted to say, again, thank you for joining me tonight. Obviously, I'm getting a little hoarse. If you wanted to connect with me, you can check me out on Instagram, on YouTube. I have plenty of videos there. Go to Facebook, go to Mahjong Class. I have a website called Mahjong Class. And the best way to connect with me is through mahjongclass@yahoo.com. Again, thank you for joining me tonight. It was a pleasure. I hope you picked up a few little tidbits. And if you're new to the game, keep practicing to get your speed up. And looking forward to our next one. Give me a thumbs up and have a great week. And check out all my videos on YouTube and get your game going and be the player you want to play with. Have a good night, everyone.